What's up? Welcome to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of I-DLE's new EP, Heat. Notably, this is I-DLE's first English EP after just giving us their sixth Korean EP, I Feel, back in May of this year. And it's not uncommon to get multiple EP drops in 1 year from K-pop groups. We know this. But Heat stood out to me once I realized it was coming out because this is I-DLE's first release that is not only on Cube Entertainment, their label, but also distributed by 88 Rising. Of course, 88 Rising continues to make a name as a label and distributor for Asian music, particularly in the United States. I've covered a lot of 88 Rising artists over the years, like Rich Brian and Nicki. Big fan of what they're doing. So the fact that 88 wanted to get involved with I-DLE definitely stood out to me. And I think it's a pretty interesting pairing. Cube Entertainment, not one of the big 4 K-pop labels, but I-DLE themselves, one of the biggest and most successful K-pop groups right now that is not on one of the big labels and getting all that natural big exposure and whatnot. So I think it's an interesting and tactical pairing between the two labels here for I-DLE, giving us Heat. And it's a really brief EP, 5 songs, 15 minutes, true EP length. And again, this is all in English. I think this creative decision to make a bunch of English music this year is kind of transparently coming in the wake of the success of Queen Card, the single off I Feel earlier this year. Queen Card, a song that has a lot of English in it, particularly in the hook, has become a big hit. It's a catchy song, was a big TikTok hit. It's a banger single in general. I'm a big fan of it. I reviewed that EP when it came out in May, and Queen Card is definitely my favorite song. So it kind of makes sense that they're going back to the well in terms of trying to find new fans, definitely targeting the West, obviously, with English music. And I think Heat is just okay. I didn't hear anything that rises to the level of Queen Card's catchiness, nor didn't I hear any kind of genre experiments the way I got on I Feel. There was some almost emo pop, almost dabbling on that. It's kind of safe music on Heat overall, just kind of going through it. Track 1, I Do, just kind of a solid singing song, nothing too special about it. I Want That probably stands out the most for its production. It's drum and bass production, pretty fun flows on there. Eyes Roll as well. I like this one. The drums are really fun on it. Some nice quick tempo throughout and just really fun vocal harmonies from the members on that one. Flip It, track 4, this one apparently has become a bit polarizing. It's funny to me because this is just kind of a fun, K-pop, hip-hop song. The ladies just kind of flexing, kind of giving you that Queen Card sentiment. Queen Card's all about being a boss bitch, and that's kind of what they're doing again on Flip It here. Notably, Shua is rapping, not something she usually does. So I think it's always cool to hear members doing something outside their comfort zone. Definitely stands out anyway. And then the last song, Tall Trees, the drum hits, I think, stand out a lot. They were kind of really push and propel the song. But overall, I think generally compositionally, production-wise, nothing too wowing about Heat. And it's, again, a brief EP, so it's hard for the members to make too much of a big impression. I think in general, I like the mix of vocalists that I-DLE gives you just because they all have kind of different vocal registers and they kind of play off each other well, especially when they dabble with some kind of hip-hop flows in the way they sing, the way they pop in after each other vocally. So they're definitely an interesting group, but this is not some of their most interesting stuff. I'd be curious if they continue to target the West, continue to make more English music, if the partnership with 88 Rising continues, or this is more of a one-off thing. Definitely interesting. I-DLE is not a new group by any chance, by any stretch. They've been around 5+ years at this point, but they're arguably as big as they've ever been at this point as well. So kind of at interesting crossroads in a good way. So I'll be curious to see what they get up to next. I'd love another full-length album like the one we got last year. That'd be awesome. But let me know, how did you feel about I-DLE's Heat, their first English EP? What was your favorite song from it? And for more K-pop reviews, more music reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.